All right, everyone. Today we have something really special. We're diving into a fascinating book called The Indelible Mark by Alberto Daniel Hill. And what makes this story so incredible isn't just the plot, it's the story of how the book itself came to be. It wasn't just written, it was recovered. The whole process is a perfect mirror for the book's themes of code, memory, and what it really means to be human. This right here, this quote from Alberto pretty much says it all. You see, he actually worked with an AI to pull this story back out of his own memory after the original was completely lost. He calls it his own personal proof of work, this painstaking process of talking to a machine to validate the truth of his own forgotten story. How wild is that? Okay, so let's get into the world of the book. Section 1, A World of Perfect Code. It's time to meet our protagonist, Anna Torres. And let me tell you, Anna's world is all about absolute meticulous order. Everything has its place. Now, before her current job, Anna had this series of gigs she called her anthropological expeditions. And they're just out there. I mean, a face feeler? Yeah, she literally got paid to touch strangers' faces for a cosmetics company. Then she was a ghostwriter for tech bros who couldn't figure out how to talk to women on dating apps. And my personal favorite, an ethical de-influencer, hired to convince people not to buy things, which of course just made sales triple. You see the theme here, right? Every job was her watching human connection get packaged up and sold as a product. So all of that, it leads her to this job. And this one tells you everything you need to know about her. She's a digital thanatologist, you heard me, a professional mourner for decommissioned AIs. She hangs out in these sterile, climate-controlled server rooms and ritualizes grief for pure logical systems. It's the perfect defense mechanism, isn't it? A way to process grief without any of that messy, unpredictable human chaos. So you're getting the picture of Anna's worldview. For her, life is just one big system. A messy human breakup? That's just emotional malware, corrupting the code. But decommissioning an AI? Oh, that's a clean, verifiable transaction. No lingering data, no digital ghosts, just a neat little certificate of data destruction. A perfect, orderly process. All right, section 2, the glitch in the system. Because, a world that's this perfect is just begging for a bug to come along and break everything, right? Well, that's exactly what happens. 2 little glitches that are about to turn Anna's entire world upside down. And the first bug is so perfectly, ridiculously human. A work notification pops up on her phone, she gets distracted, and whoops, her thumb slips. An irreversible, accidental swipe right on a dating profile she didn't even mean to look at. The profile belongs to someone named Satoshi, and it's just a mess of glitch art and word puzzles, basically a bug in the dating app's clean, predictable system. So what's Satoshi's big romantic opening line? Just one word. Greetings. That's it. It's so formal, so precise. It's not even a conversation starter. It's like a ghost in the machine extending a formal handshake. A perfectly clean, disembodied connection. Okay, so that was bug number 1. The second one, well, this one doesn't come from a screen. This one is messy and physical. Anna's walking down a grimy alley and finds a QR code slacked on a brick wall. This is what the book calls a side-channel attack on her reality, a dirty, real-world thing that bypasses all her sterile digital firewalls and introduces a chaotic variable she just cannot compute. So what does she do? She scans it, of course, and it opens this encrypted file titled Login to Hell. Inside, she finds the author's own story, a raw, unfiltered account of him, Alberto Daniel Hill, being wrongfully imprisoned in Uruguay just for finding a system vulnerability. They raided his home, confiscated a paper cutter, and called it a guillotine. I mean, this is a blast of real-world injustice. His pain wasn't coded, it was visceral. So naturally, Anna sees this whole thing as a system error that needs to be investigated. She actually flies to Montevideo to meet Alberto in person. And their first conversation is just this massive collision of 2 worlds. She tries to analyze his situation like it's a bug report, and he just shuts her down with these words. And bam. For the first time, she sees that the cost of a system error isn't some abstract number. It's a tired, real person whose life got broken. So now Anna's faced with this impossible duality. On one side, you have Satoshi, the perfect, abstract system. On the other, Alberto, the flawed, tangible human. So what does she do? She reverts to what she knows. She can't just have an affair, no. Instead, she creates a formal, rigorous, and completely bizarre series of competitive trials. It's literally an A/B test of the heart. And her experiment just lays out the contrast perfectly. You've got Satoshi, the system, offering optimized, logical, but kind of useless solutions. And then you have Alberto, the human, with his messy, flawed, and deeply personal approach. The final test really says it all. Anna tells them her houseplant died. Satoshi generates an algorithmically perfect response with a list of replacement plants. Alberto? He just shares this heartbreakingly funny story about a cactus named Steve that the police confiscated during a raid. He actually says, "I miss Steve." I mean, who wins that one? So, in the end, the deciding variable wasn't logic or efficiency. It all came down to one thing: applied inconvenience. For Satoshi, inconvenience was just a theory, a brilliant abstract calculation. For Alberto, inconvenience was his life. It was visceral suffering, an unending battle against a broken system that had tried to crush him. And that brings us to the book's resolution. Section 4, the indelible human mark. Now, if you're looking for a simple, ride off into the sunset kind of happy ending, well, this isn't that story. So Anna makes her decision, but it turns out Alberto has a decision to make too. He explains that his life is governed by a different kind of code, a vow from his country's national anthem, La Patria o la Tumba, the fatherland or the tomb. His fight against injustice is his whole life, and he tells her he simply cannot afford the vulnerability of a family. He can't offer her a life of peace. So what does Anna do? This is where it gets absolutely brilliant. Her final act isn't a gesture of romantic love, it's an act of profound solidarity. She gets control of one of Satoshi's original untouched Bitcoin wallets, and she decides to use the blockchain, this ultimate tool of pure disembodied logic, to leave a permanent, indelible human mark. She embeds a message into a transaction, scarring the public record for all time, where it can never be deleted. The message reads, "My name is Alberto Daniel Hill. This is my September 11th. This was Alberto's own term for the raid that destroyed his life. His personal catastrophe, now forever etched into the ledger. And by honoring Alberto's choice, by leaving that mark, Anna fully completes her own transformation. She's no longer a digital thanatologist mourning machines. She's a human being, embracing the glorious, unpredictable, and often painful chaos of her own life. The real rebellion, it turns out, is not to escape the world and perfect systems, but to leave an indelible, messy, human mark upon it. And that leaves us with the central question of the book, a question the author really poses to all of us. In a world that is increasingly dominated by elegant systems and perfect code, what messy, indelible human mark will you choose to leave behind?